All right, I believe we are now live. Hey guys, how you doing out there? Nathan Roberts here. Thank you for tuning in to Flat Earth Doctrine. If you don't mind, please hit the subscribe button. Share this message out if you find it beneficial or helpful to yourself and you want to share it with others. Just share it. That's all I ask. Please consider doing that. Leave also a comment below with your thoughts, anything that you'd like to add to this, or any corrections that you feel as I should consider. So first of all, I have the Flat Earth Doctrine Operation Oxygen, which I want to make sure people are aware of. I have all of the COVID-19 related information saved off as it's been being presented to us. And I hope that you'll at least take a look at this because I have a lot of video information that I have saved off so that hopefully YouTube does not pull it off, though I believe YouTube owns now Vimeo, but Vimeo I have a paid subscription, so I've saved all these videos off and I've presented them in a very vertical method of consuming it. So hopefully you guys will find this helpful and take it into consideration. Alright, so that's that. Something else I want to touch on before I get to the get your out of the New World Order passport, which has just arrived. I'm super excited to share that with you guys because I have just gotten mine and I wanted to share it with you guys too. But before I do that, I wanted to share real quick about this guy named Dario Musso. He returns home, but Italy remains gagged. So this happened, or this was reported on this article, the 9th of May, 2020. And let me just read this to you real quick. So have you heard of Dario Musso? No, most likely. With very few exceptions, the Italian press did not dedicate a single word to the young demonstrator from Ravenusa forced to a TSO for expressing his own opinion. Thanks to social media, if today we learn about this story, and this is a translated page, it's written in Italian, I believe, and it's translated through Google Translate, so that's why it may not flow very well. Thanks to social media, if today we learn anything about this story, destined to write one of the saddest pages in history of the Republic. Let's go in order. On May 2nd of the province of Agrigento, a 33-year-old man, Dario, in his car with a megaphone, started shouting that coronavirus does not exist. There is no pandemic. Wake up. Go to Rome to speak the language of what you think. These are his words that cost him dearly. If after a few minutes the local police forces literally surrounded the vehicle, inviting the boy to get out of the car, the following scenes are there for all to see because they are shot from above on a cell phone camera. So here's the video. So I'm putting links to all this stuff, so if you guys want to take a look at it, you can. Alright, so there's probably a few anyway, so this is one of the videos out there on this. Close that, but you'll find the link in there. So from the images it can be seen that no resistance, no violence was exercised by the demonstrator, yet in a few moments Dario is on the ground, immobilized by a circle of people in uniform and sedated by 3 operators in white coats. I saw the video. It's very disturbing, but it did happen, and I figured it was worth commending this young man for doing what he did. So good for him, and I pray hedge of protection over him for speaking the truth, and that if he doesn't know Jesus, he will come to Jesus. Alright, so next is my get out of the New World Order passport, and you know what it's called? It's called the Constitution for the United States of America. That's right, I said for, the Constitution for the United States of America. The Constitution of the United States of America is a fraudulent document. It is a de facto document for a de facto government. So this is the Constitution for the United States of America. And where that comes from is from the very first paragraph of the Constitution. Let me read it to you real quick. Let's see here. So it says, the Constitution for the United States of America. We the people of the United States, that's not like the corporate United States. It is the United States, lowercase. in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States, not like corporate United, but the United, lowercase, not capitalized, United States of America. This is where it starts. This is your get out of the New World Order passport. You should probably pick up one of these and carry it with you. If ever you are stopped by the Gestapo, a cop who's operating under tyranny, and he asks you, are you operating as an essential worker, or you are traveling at a point in time that is outside of lockdown and quarantine, this is not the time that you're allowed to travel, what are you doing? All you do is you pull out the Constitution for the United States of America. All right? Now, there's something very important to understand, which I already pointed this out. The Constitution for, not of, for the United States of America is a very important point, because the of is for the 1871 formulation of the corporate United States of America, which is the democracy, which is the de facto government, which is presiding right now. Prior to that, it was Constitution for the United States of America, and it was the Republic. But you, fortunately, and we have the choice, because we now know the truth. The truth shall set you free. If you know the difference between the two, I can almost certainly guarantee you every judge in America understands this, because whenever they get challenged on these points, they have to concede, because they know the truth. They know that they're operating in a de facto fashion. Most of them are Freemasons, and I'm talking about judges, and maybe even many lawyers, not necessarily all, but judges, they know what's up, okay? So in addition to this alteration of the of and the for, and you have the democracy versus the republic, two different constitutions, one of the primary differentiation of these two different constitutions is the 13th Amendment, of which is missing from the democracy. The democracy shows a United States Constitution that promotes the ratified amendment from Abraham Lincoln talking about slavery, when in reality the true 13th Amendment is called the TONA, T-O-N-A, which is commonly referred as T-O-N-A, Titles of Nobility Amendment. And it's very important to understand. Very important. And I'm going to tell you really quick why. I've got all these links, so I'm not going to read all this information to you guys. You guys are going to have to, if you're interested in it, dig into it even more. But I challenge you, when you pick up one of these books, alter it like I did, because what I did was I removed all amendments made to this that are from the 13th and on. I actually left the 13th one behind here, and even the 14th, just because I needed the pages, but I crossed it out with a red X. But all the 15th and forward are all gone, because they're null and void, because this is the true 13th Amendment. The true 13th Amendment does not allow anyone who carries a title of nobility to not just not be able to operate in the office of any one of the, or a representative of the United States, any one of the United States of America, but they cannot even be a citizen of any of the United States of America. What is a title of nobility? Have you ever heard of the word Esquire? Yes, you have. Esquire is a title of nobility that lawyers carry. How many lawyers operate in the government? Now you see where I'm going? So every single amendment that was ratified after the 13th, which was ratified in March 12th of 1819, which I'm going to show to you, by the Virginia Commonwealth. That they were the 13th and the final required, because it was 2/3 that was needed to ratify that amendment. Maryland being the first. So let me show you real quick. Here's the list of. So here it is. This is the amendment. If any citizen of the United States shall accept. If any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility or honor, or shall, without the consent of Congress, accept and retain any present, pension, office, or emulate of any kind whatever, from any emperor, king, prince, or foreign power, such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States, and shall be incapable of holding any office of trust or profit under them, or either of them. So it required I apologize. The Constitution requires 3/4 of the states to ratify a proposed amendment before it may be added to the Constitution. So that means they had 17 at the time, and it was clear that within the 2-year time span, 12 of the 13 was going to be required, needed to ratify. Now 12 of them had done so within about a 2-year time frame. So Maryland being the first on December 25th of 1810, Kentucky January 31st of 1811, Ohio January 31st, 1811, Delaware February 2nd of 1811, Pennsylvania February 6th of 1811, New Jersey February 13th, 1811, Vermont October 24th, 1811, Tennessee November 21st, 1811, Georgia December 13th, 1811, North Carolina December 23rd, 1811, Massachusetts, February 27th, 1812, and New Hampshire, December 10th of 1812. And finally, but not insignificant, was Virginia. They did so here we go. The 13th Amendment official date of ratification would be the date of republication of the Virginia Civil Code, which was March 12th of 1819. The delegates knew Virginia was the last of the 13 states that were necessary for the ratification of the 13th Amendment. They also knew that there were powerful forces allied against the ratification, so they took... Now, let me touch on this real quick. The reason that it was important to these states to ratify this, they knew it was so important, is that the title of nobilities, Esquire, included that being a lawyer who operates under the bar, which is in England. That's a title of nobility, Esquire. So anytime someone becomes a bar lawyer, meaning they have the certification from the bar, that is British owned. And it is a Esquire title of nobility that they acquire. They receive it, they claim it, they retain it. That means they're not a citizen of the United States, of the Republic, of the democracy. That's something different. But of the Republic, yes, they are not a citizen, nor could they even operate within the form of government at that point. So, anyways, this is like so important. So they also knew that there were powerful forces. Again, so why? Okay, let me just clarify. Again, the reason why it is so important for the 13th Amendment to be ratified. Yes, I understand. I explained that their title of nobility, Esquire, reports to the bar, but the founding fathers knew that as soon as titles of nobility, including Esquire, those who report to the Queen, are under the Queen, they will then be infiltrated. And they did not want to take any chances whatsoever. And that's why the ratification of the original 13th Amendment was so imperative. So they also knew that there were powerful forces allied against this ratification, so they took extraordinary measures to make sure that it was published in sufficient quantity, that being the last state, that being Virginia, knowing that it was so important, that they wanted to print sufficient quantities of their revised, updated Virginia Civil Code, the March 12th, 1819 edition. 4,000 copies were ordered, almost triple their usual order, and instructed the printer to send a copy to President James Monroe as well as James Madison and Thomas Jefferson. The printer, Thomas Ricci was bonded, he was required to be extremely accurate in his research and his printing, or he would forfeit his bond. In this fashion, Virginia announced the ratification by publication and dissemination of the 13th Amendment of the Constitution. All right, so let's go over here. This is another page which is very helpful, web page that has a lot of information on the original 13th Amendment. And so I just want to share with you a few links from that page. Again, this is all in the video description below for your continued research and investigation. But this is the first page of the revised code of the laws of Virginia, and you can see that an act providing for the republication of the laws passed March 12, 1819. So there's that. That's like the front page that gives the date. Then you have on page 30 of this document, page 30, you can see that. Let's go down here to Article 13. It says, if any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility or honor, or shall, without the consent of Congress, accept and retain any present, pension, office, or amulet of any kind whatever from any emperor, king, prince, or foreign power, such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States and shall be incapable of holding any office of trust or profit under them or either of them. Here it says, as a side note, it says citizenship forfeited by the acceptance from a foreign power of any title of nobility, office, or amulet of any kind. You take on the title of Esquire, you are not permitted to even be a citizen of the United States, that being the Republic, much less serve as a government official within the Republic for the United States of America. This is some serious, deep rabbit hole stuff that most people have no clue about. And I've tried to talk to people before. When I first found out about this several years ago, most people were just like, don't care, whatever. Well, now the people are kind of wide open to seeing that they've been fooled about this coronavirus crap, and they're starting to look into the founding documents of this country because they realize that their constitutional rights are being infringed upon. Now that you're kind of waking up, maybe you might want to take a look at what many people, including myself, have been trying to bring to light, that this is very important information because it distinguishes the difference between a de facto government, which is operating right now under the pretense of a democracy, versus what was initially set up and ratified as a republic with the initial Constitution for the United States of America. Very important history lesson that we're having here right now. So now this right here is the certification from the printer. Maybe not the printer, but let me go and read this. So I, Benjamin Watkins Lay, appointed by the Act of Assembly providing for the republication of the laws of this Commonwealth, passed March 12, 1819, superintendent of the said publication, do hereby certify that the laws printed in this first volume have been carefully examined, and that, with the exception of the errors noted in the table of errata, I find them correctly printed. B.W. Lay, Richmond, 1819. This is a ratified amendment as of March 12, 1819, the original 13th Amendment. I'm going to read it one more time. I'm going to say, God bless you in Jesus' name. And I'm going to pray that each one of you go and get yourself one of these little booklets and you cut out all of the BS amendments that were added after the initial 12, and then you replace the and you put in the original 13th Amendment in there, of which I'm going to do a nice printout of. I did a handwritten version there, and then I'm going to put on the back of it each of the states as well as their date of ratification on the very back. So if anyone comes up and asks me about it, I'm going to show you, look, boom, this is the truth. And I'm also going to put on the back here some more of this type of information from probably these web pages right here to further validate the research and whatnot. It's someone did a really great job at researching this and providing us the information. So please save it off, share it, and do not discount it. It's so important. So let me go ahead and read this one more time. If any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility or honor, or shall, without the consent of Congress, accept and retain any present, pension, office, or emulet of any kind whatever from any emperor, king, prince, or foreign power, such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States, and shall be incapable of holding any office of trust or profit under them, or either of them. All lawyers that live on this soil, none of them are qualifiable as a citizen of the Republic of the United States. Not one of them. All of them have their allegiance, unfortunately, whether they know it or not, to the crown. And by us not showing this truth to them, we are allowing them to be validated in their lie. So, share the truth with a lawyer and an officer, if you don't mind, maybe a sheriff. God bless you guys in Jesus' name. I'm going to get out of here. Please share this message. Thumbs up. Oh, by the way, Jesus Christ, He is the way, the truth, the life. No man comes to the Father but by Him. Repent and believe on Jesus Christ, and ye shall be saved. I love you guys. I'm out of here.